What's up, everybody? Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 12 of my favorite 31 rock and pop albums of the 70s countdown. That's right, we're doing it each and every day this month here in August 2023. 31 days in a month. Our favorite, because we're all doing this together, our favorite general rock and pop albums. Remember, we've done all these sorts of countdowns, different styles of music. We've done the hard rock and metal, we've done the southern rock, we've done the progressive rock. We're not doing jazz here. These are just kind of like the rock and pop albums that don't kind of fit into any of those categories. And like I've said, some of these albums I'm picking do rock quite a bit and do have some hard rock moments, but they're not, I wouldn't I don't feel they're heavy albums that push them into the real serious hard rock and metal, right? So, but as most of you know, hard rock is probably my favorite style of music going anyway. But, and this album does have its rock moments as well. This is a debut album for my pick number 12. It was released September 1975, recorded at Can-Base Studios in Vancouver, produced by Mike Flicker for Mushroom Records. Of course, I'm talking about Dreamboat Annie by Heart. Yeah, I really toyed with, when I did the hard rock and metal countdown, I really toyed with, because I love Heart. And I'm like, do they really belong in that category, right? Because, Heart has some pretty rockin' tunes. You got Barracuda and a handful of others that are, pretty crunchy rockers, right? But they've got so much other stuff going on. They do pop, they do this lovely folk stuff, right? They do little bluesy things. To me, while at their core they are at times a really good hard rock band, they're never a metal band. I just think they're just a great rock band in general, right? So I said, you know what, I'm going to hold Heart and save them for the rock and pop countdown, because that's where I think they really, really belong. Just a great rock band, one of the great rock bands from the U.S. that we've had over the last 50 years. So in the band, of course, the sisters themselves, Ann Wilson on lead vocals, the backing vocals, flute, little acoustic guitar, Nancy Wilson on electric and acoustic guitar, backing vocals, Roger Fisher on electric and acoustic guitars. Roger Fisher, so underrated, with a great lead guitar player. Howard Leese, plays a little bit of guitar, little synthesizer, orchestral arrangements. Dave Fossen, bass guitar. Mike DeRosier on drums. And like I said, you have sort of people helping out on backing vocals and percussion and extra keyboards and things like that. So, what do we have on this album? This is one of my favorite debuts, and it's still my favorite hard album. I mean, there's a couple of them from the 70s that are up there as, top tier. Heart, this always seems to win out for me. It's got Magic Man, the magical Magic Man, majestic Magic Man. It's a nice rocker, good, cool guitar work on it, great chorus, just the whole vibe. I love the production of this album. Dreamboat Annie, title track, Fantasy Child, awesome. Crazy on You, I absolutely love Crazy on You. Crazy on You is one of the all-time great songs of this era. And again, it's at its core, it's a great pop tune, but it rocks hard. It's got just, what a great guitar lick at the beginning. And how about, Nancy's amazing acoustic guitar intro, right? Just so good. The guitar solo from Roger's great. Love that. Soul of the Sea, absolutely enchanting. Then you got the regular Dreamboat Annie, right? Man, just Ann's vocals, just astounding. White Lightning and Wine, another terrific. It's a good rocker. Love Me Like Music, I'll Be Your Song. Excellent. I love the little folky pieces on this album too. Sing Child is terrific. That's a great snarling hard rocker from the band, and I love the guitar riffs and licks in the song. Just so good. I think Sing Child is one of their underrated gems on this album. And then, of course, How Deep It Goes. And then Dreamboat Annie reprise again. I love how they kind of reprise that throughout the album. It's, just such a great album. A lot of people love the next 2-3 albums, right? So many great songs, right, from this catalog early on. But I generally, for me, when you got Magic Man, Crazy on You, Soul of the Sea, Sing Child on an album, it's hard for me to beat it. And everything else is just the icing on the cake. So, yeah, I mean, that's my pick for today, for this particular album. Let's go to charting positions and information. Australia, this made it to number 9. Canada, number 20. Dutch album charts, number 7. Japan, 67. UK, 36. And the US Billboard 200, number 7. pretty good as far as certifications go. Australia, this is a gold seller, 20,000 copies sold. Canada, double platinum, 200,000 units sold. And here in the States, this is a platinum album, 1 million copies sold. Pretty good stuff. Let's see, we got any singles released and when. All right, so How Deep It Goes was released April 1975. Magic Man, June 1975. Crazy on You, March 1976. And Dreamboat Annie came out November of 1976. So you're still releasing singles from this album well after the release date, which is pretty neat. Just goes to show you that this album had some staying power, right? So, but yeah, for those of you who maybe prefer Little Queen by a hair, I totally get that because Little Queen is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. It's close. It's close. That's my number 2 for sure. And there's some stuff on there, that's just also legendary heart. But I just, the album cover and just the whole, this is their first album, and it's like, and they just came out with such legendary songs on here. It's hard for me to overlook this album. I really, really love it a lot. I love the production of the whole thing too. So it's just very warm and inviting and just, yeah, so 70s, right? So that's my pick for today. Let us know what you think of Dreamboat Annie in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, pick number 12. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page. So thanks in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you tomorrow morning with pick number 11 as we count down. We're almost in the top 10, guys. And then, of course, we're moving into the 60s, right? Yes, my favorite albums of the 60s will be the theme for September. It's funny because I'm more of like a 70s and 80s guy, but man, I've already been kind of putting my big list together from the 60s. A lot of tremendous albums in the 60s too, right? Just different stuff, right? You have a lot of cool pop and, the whole British scene, and it's a lot of psychedelic albums and early kind of proto-metal stuff. And yeah, there's all sorts of really cool things that came out in the 60s. So it's amazing. My list just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I'm surprised at how many there are. Because sometimes, albums are released, like for me anyway, albums that came out like 68, 69, really late in the decade. Sometimes in the back of your mind, you almost like you consider they're almost like 70s albums, but then when you really start looking and thinking about albums and release dates, you're like, oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that was 67, 69, 68, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, your list is astronomical, and you're like, wow, this is going to be tough whittling this down to 30 some odd, right? So anyway, that's what we're doing next month, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in just a little bit here on the channel. Of course, we got Ranking the Albums coming right up in exactly an hour. Jamie Laszlo and myself have a fun show for you. We'll be ranking the catalog of Monster Magnet. So stay tuned for that and more. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.